In the writing section, there are 10 build a sentence questions that are worth 10 points in total, 5 points for academic discussion writing, and 5 points for the email task. The total raw score is then converted into the scaled score of 0 to 6. In this video, I want to show you what just enough topic development looks like in academic discussion. I'll show you an answer structure that is enough for the AI scoring system to see, that is enough for you to get a solid score, and simple enough that you still have time to check grammar. Many of you already have the ability to get 4 to 5 points out of that 5 points in this task, but you're losing some points. It's not because your ideas are bad, but because you overbuild, overthink, or sometimes underbuild. By the way, my name is Lee. I've taught TOEFL for the past 8 years, and I've recently taken the new TOEFL test myself, and plus I've studied all the paid official mock tests out there. So what I'm showing you here comes from analyzing and testing those official materials and from my current understanding of how AI scoring system scores your answers. Let me show you a complete academic discussion answer first. It's about 112 words, just over the 100-word minimum. You don't need to write more to get a 5 out of 5 for this particular task. It's not fancy, but it already works for topic development, or like the instruction manual calls it, discourse cohesion. Okay, question. Some people believe that doctors should maintain strict professional distance, while others think friendly relationships can improve medical care. What is your opinion? So let's see why this structure already works. Okay. The big picture, what topic development means for AI. The AI scorer does not understand your ideas like a human teacher. It needs to see very clear topic development. That is visible movement across sentences. Now let's go back to the sample and see what visible movement means here. Okay. I'll label them in simple terms. Statement: I believe doctors can form friendly relationships with patients without harming professionalism. Reason: this is because warmer interactions encourage patients to share important information. A little bit context. For example, when my father received his medical education in the 1980s, his school did not have courses on how to manage relationships with the patient. So basically, we're setting up the context for the negative action, which is someone who doesn't know how to, about how doctors did not have friendly relationships with their patients. Okay. All right, the next sentence. This includes the action. Doctors seem distant. And the negative situation is patients often gave limited descriptions of their symptoms. So basically, patients didn't really say much because the doctors were cold. Okay. As a result, doctors sometimes struggle to choose appropriate treatments. So that's the outcome from that negative situation. So the pattern is negative action, negative situation, negative outcome. And then we contrast, we do a little bit of contrast. We talk about the situation now. Today, communication techniques are taught in training school. Again, it's the same context, but we're just reversing it. And then there's the positive action that we mentioned in our statement, which is physicians now know how to treat patients nicely in a friendly manner. Okay, so this improvement allows patients to explain their conditions more clearly. So again, it's a simple, we're simply reversing the negative situations that we mentioned earlier into positive one. And so medical practitioners can design better treatments. Again, that's simply reversing that negative outcome that we talked about earlier. So in simple language, the movement is before, strict distance, so limited information, so poor treatment. That's a total of 2 clear movements. 2 to 3 sentences. And after, there's friendly relationship, clearer information, better treatment. That's a total of 2 clear moves too. Another 2 to 3 sentences. This is already multiple clear moves. I'm showing you 2 moves for each stage, before and after, to make the idea of movement very obvious to you. You can choose to use only 1 move, and that will still be fine. That is, you just talk about, you can skip the outcome part. In fact, if you have enough words, you can also skip the reason. Okay. Traditionally, when you write, the humans want you to write topic sentences, right? But for AI systems, to detect the discourse cohesion, you don't need to do that. If you're taking the new TOEFL 2026 and want extra practice, timing, and scoring guides and updates as we collect more real results, there's a link below this video. Fill out the short form and I'll send them to you. Okay. So again, a lot of humans would think about movement, and they would do some very complicated things. So we need to know what is a very clear movement for the AI system. So again, some people might say, well, to show development, I need to have some long sentences. To get good score in content, to topic development or discourse cohesion, I need long sentences. Each sentence has to have a lot of word counts. Okay, it's not really about sentence length. Okay, let's look at this contrast. Doctors didn't know how to treat patients well. Okay, this is less specific in the eyes of an AI system, and doctors struggled to choose appropriate treatments. That is more clear. Doctors couldn't find effective treatments easily. This is also clear, equally clear. So why are they specific and clear? Although all 3 sentences mean the same thing. The word, in the first sentence, the word know, treat, well, can be associated with many things in our day-to-day expressions, right? So in the AI system, in the AI evaluation process, this is deemed to be less specific. Find or choose treatments has a narrower meaning that is more visible to AI too. So again, specific does not mean long sentences. Okay? Specific means narrow meaning. So you achieve specificity by describing a clear action, a clear result, or a clear contrast with the past. You can use verbs that show concrete action. For example, use describe instead of show, and avoid overly abstract nouns like things or issues, or quantifiers like a lot of real names, specific dates, and emotion words such as frustrating, exciting, amazing usually do not increase specificity in the eyes of the scoring system. You can, of course, use them, but they don't increase specificity. So let me just show you some quick notes on sentence patterns. This is important too. This is another aspect of your score. This is called syntactic variety, and so when I write this particular answer, I already incorporate some of the most useful sentence patterns that AI can see. I'm actually demonstrating 5 over here. Do you need to use all 5? No. You can use basically 3 to 4, and then already achieves sentence pattern variety in the eye of AI systems. And again, in this other video, about syntactic variety and lexical variety, we talk about ChatGPT's point of view and AI scoring system's point of view is definitely not the same. Because a lot of times, people think about AI, they think about ChatGPT. All right, so if you copy a structure like this, you're already showing enough sentence variety that AI can see. You can check the video in the link below. Okay. For now, you can think of this as a safe template for answer patterns, the answer structure, and for syntactic variety. So now let's talk about how to spend your 10 minutes. A simple time budget can look like this. You spend your first 1 to 2 minutes planning the topic development, the movements. Okay. You can think about your reason. Actually, later on, we will encourage you to use some reusable reasons. General, although they're abstract, but you can develop some more specific variations of it. So use those reasons and then pick your position. All right. That's just a suggestion. You don't always have to do that. If you, whichever way that can help you come up with the idea, with the structure within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, and then you can think about the before situation and the results, and then after situation is basically reversing those before situation and results. And then in the next 6 minutes or so, write your 6 to 7 sentences based on your notes, following the pattern we mentioned. And with the last 2 minutes, you have check grammar, spelling, and missing words. A lot of strong writers write very ambitiously. They write a lot because, I used to do that too. I can easily write more than 200 words, and I felt like the grammar was correct. But in fact, when I check them again, usually I can spot some typos or some mistakes. But sometimes even I had no time to fix them, right? Because we were being a little bit too ambitious. So that's why right now I have this more scaled down, slightly over 100-word template, so that you can really save time for checking grammar. All right, so the last thing, the practice strategy. What do you actually do from now on? So step number 1, you try 2 to 3 different academic discussion questions. And for each one, I want you to encourage you to force yourself to use the same answer structure, the same movement pattern that we described earlier on in the doctor example. And then try to see which part is a little bit more difficult or which part is easier. And when you practice, also briefly note how long you spent planning, how long you spent writing, and whether you had any time left to check grammar. So your goal at the beginning is not yet to write something perfect. Your goal is to see which part is slowing you down. Once you see the slow part, you can optimize that part. Okay, one last thing to reduce pressure is reusable ideas. Many ideas are reusable across different questions. Okay. What changes is how specific you make them. For example, the general idea of sharing information can become, say, patients share more details about their symptoms. Students share insights in group discussions. Employees share specific feedback with their managers. You don't need brand new ideas for every question, because humans have been on this planet making decisions for a long time. You just need clearer wording and visible movements. Okay, so for academic discussion topic development or discourse cohesion, remember, you need to show visible movement across sentences. Okay, and we've already showed you a few ways to do that. And one clear trajectory: before, change, after, before, action, after. Be specific. Don't make long sentences, and save time for your grammar. Save time to check your grammar instead of overbuilding your story.